And it's what's weird is they may, and you do a lot of stuff with community college teaching, they may never like contact you. That's the weird part to me is I was expecting so much more student interaction and most of them didn't. And it's not because, again, they were upset at me or didn't care. Just like I gave them such a simple process to follow. They're like, yeah, I'm good. I can take care of that. And it was just weird to be like, I haven't talked to you for like 6 weeks in any form at all because you never showed up to I should say this too. When we have done full remote, we did not have mandatory digital online classes, like meeting times. So one day a week we did our school day and it was open to Google Meets and kids could come and go. But it wasn't mandatory. Whereas my children, they have 2 days, every day they had quote unquote mandatory, although I mean you couldn't force the kids. So it just meant they'd do it at home themselves. But they had 2 set times to meet with their teachers. So most of their kids were in class with their teachers twice a day and they talked to them and they really did see them still. For us, we didn't run it that way. My wife's a teacher as well, and she had to do mandatory meets, and most of her kids showed up. So she was still keeping that kind of relationship. That just disappeared, and that was really strange too. But it wasn't from any sense of like hate. I don't think, where I would have taken it personally, probably it was more so, no, they just didn't need me. I was able to give them what they needed, and that I didn't like. But also, too, to be honest, the structure we had set up, when they did come to those meetings on Thursdays, if I wasn't teaching them, I was wasting their time. That's what I felt badly about. So I started doing, hey, Thursdays are going to be either like those were like test review days. So I'm going over stuff before your test, or hey, I'm just going to teach the lesson and take questions if you got it. Because I felt guilty if a kid came in and I said, you have to come in. And we just sat and talked for a bit. And then I said, okay, now go off and do work. And I gave them I just double dipped on their time.
Yeah.
And that was weird. And I, again, if I had to do it over again, I would make those days for kids a little less academic and more social, emotional. But we happened so quickly, and I was like, no, I need to get you moving and doing stuff and keep you engaged. And so it turned into basically, no, I'll teach the lesson online. And I did have, kids show up, but it just, it wasn't engaged in the same way that I would have liked it to have been. But it was also, I think, a lot of it because they just didn't need me physically like I would think that you would have.